Tonight's presentation of Security Theater is brought to you by a generous grant from the Chertoff Napolitano Foundation.
Take off your shoes, fold your stroller up, and put your wallet in this filthy cup. Laptops out, put them in the bin where someone's nasty shoes have just been.
I'm a mommy with skin so fair. I have 2 kids and we have blonde hair. I'm just a normal suburban mom. I have no weapons or a hidden bomb.
I don't care, lady, and don't you fight. I'm like a mall cop, but not as bright. Remove your shoes, put them in the bin, and don't forget liquids can't come in.
I have breast milk, I have breast milk. I am breastfeeding and I have breast milk. It's just breast milk, it's not a bomb. Please look at me, I'm a suburban mom.
She has breast milk.
As you can see, I'm just a mom with 2 kids, obviously.
She has breast milk.
I have breast milk, and I will until he starts eating solid foods.
Give me that cat, pour out the milk, and put your laptop in this filthy bin, and go and stand in that machine. Radiation is minimal, you can trust me.
She's opting out.
I'm opting out. That's too invasive, and I'm opting out.
She's opting out.
You're opting out, then prepare to have your body groped.
We're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
This is about jobs. Connell said there would be no shutdown.
Put a stop to bullying.
Real cuts, the devil's in the details.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
The president went about this all wrong.
America, we have come so far. We have seen so much. We shall overcome. Yes, we can.
Game on.
Thank you. Good luck and God bless you.
The BSofA with Brian Sack.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the BSofA. I'm your host, Brian Sack. My apologies for tweeting your home address to an angry mob. I thought you were somebody else. And now, this week's BS. President Obama addressed a heckler who interrupted his speech at Ohio State University by telling him, "You're being rude." The same iron-fisted approach he's used to address the uprising in Syria. A JetBlue pilot on a flight bound for Las Vegas caused the flight to be diverted after he tried to storm the cockpit while screaming, "Say your prayers." Still, they're better than Delta. The New York City Board of Education has banned the mention of birthdays, dinosaurs, dancing, and Halloween from city-issued tests. In an effort to keep up with the failing educational system here, they expect to eliminate numbers and words from tests by 2014. U.S. Labor Secretary Hilda Solis honored migrant labor organizer Cesar Chavez this week by moving to rename the federal department's auditorium after him. In union tradition, the renaming will take 8 weeks and run $1 million over budget. I sense silence from the union crew. Yes? No. This season, the Texas Rangers will offer a $26 hot dog that weighs 1 pound and feeds 3 to 4 normal people. Or 1 Glenn Beck. Now, I thought our viewers understood that we here at the BSofA are running a side business within our own show where we solicit our own sponsors, write bits around them, and keep all the money for ourselves. But I ran into a big fan of the show, Scott, at an airport in Raleigh, and over Bloody Marys, he asked me if that was really true. Yes, it's true. The sponsors are very real, and so is the money we're kind of stealing from our employer. Now, we're now just a few $100s away from our goal of iPads for the entire staff. Everyone on the show but but me, unfortunately. I don't know how that worked out, but thank you to our this week's sponsor, Everela Outdoors. It's the #1 hunting and outdoors supply website to ever send me money and free stuff. And all they had to do was email sponsorthebsofa@gbtv.com and send us money under the table. Finally, I want to thank everyone who came out to see Unelectable 2 this past weekend. Unelectable 2 is Glenn Beck's new comedy show that has paired with the BSofA, or more correctly, it's Glenn's new stage show that has comedy in it because he called us. So I traveled down to Tampa, Florida, and Raleigh, North Carolina with Matt and Jack from the show, and once the initial terror of performing for a couple thousand people subsided, we had a great time, as did the audience. We met a lot of great people and some very enthusiastic fans of the show. So to all of them, once again, thank you for an amazing weekend. And if you missed it, Unelectable 2 will be in Phoenix, Arizona on April 20th and San Diego, California on April 21st. We hope to see you there. We'll be right back.
We've only got 5 hours in North Carolina, so we got to make this time count. We need to write a sketch about the area.
Okay.
This is not a vacation.
No, sir.
That's true.
It's a nice hotel, but it's not a vacation.
Yeah. I don't know, like, what's local? What is local to this area? Like this?
Tobacco fields?
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, yeah, we had the tobacco thing.
Research Triangle, the whole Duke and what's the other?
Yeah, North Carolina, Tobacco Row, the whole thing for colleges.
Well, speaking of which, this is March Madness. There's got to be something.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, North Carolina's still in it. Wowzers.
Nice.
Nice. It's a really nice room.
Got a pool.
Really?
Yeah. Guys, this is not too shabby.
They did not skimmed.
All right, so I like the tobacco thing.
That would be great if we get a tobacco field, because I think this time of year there's nothing there, right? So we could blame Bloomberg.
Yeah, because it's off season, so that should work.
Did you guys see this coffee maker? K-Cups, pod coffee maker.
Fisher, focus up.
We should have some coffee. We should make some coffee and drink it, and then it'll be like a writer's room, you know?
Okay, let's stick with this. Let's write.
So maybe some kind of interview piece where there's a farmer.
So I think what's cool. I think what's cool about it is that the. What are you doing?
Oh.
Yes, I see it. It's nice, but we need to work.
It's great. What a mirror.
Okay, so I'm standing by a tobacco field talking to a farmer. And what are you doing?
Truffled crab salad and caramel cheesecake. For writing. Well, what are you doing?
This is my brainstorming outfit.
You need to focus up.
What if the farmer had champagne?
Sounds good to me.
No, why don't we just stick with... Oh, so comfortable. It's just so comfortable. No?
Thank you, Stacy.
Hi, my name is Matt Fisher. I'm staying in your hotel, and I'd like to get a pizza delivered to a tub.
Mitt Romney weighed in on the debate over the Affordable Care Act this week, saying, quote, "If I'm the godfather of this thing, then it gives me the right to kill it." Romney's quote was well received by conservatives, but kind of freaked out his godchildren. It came to light that Starbucks Strawberries and Cream Frappuccino gets its pink color from ground-up insects native to Mexico and South America. It also came out that they're charging more for ground-up insect coloring than the Dunkin' Donuts down the street. Electronic music producer Deadmau5 criticized pop star Madonna on Twitter for acting irresponsibly after she asked the crowd at a music festival if they were rolling on ecstasy. Although Madonna later clarified that she's more interested in drugs that prevent osteoporosis. Disney's John Carter was such a box office bomb that the company announced that they'll lose $200 million over the film, which does not bode well for the next multi-million-dollar adventure epic, Jimmy Carter. Now, the BSofA has the best fans in the world, but none are perhaps better than Shayna and Eric Rojon, who sent us $100 toward our iPad fund just because they like the show. So they're our second sugar daddy, or sugar parents, as it were. They want nothing in return other than, get this, to make our show even longer. So they sent us money and asked if we could go from half an hour to an hour. Isn't that great? So I brought up the idea in a meeting the other day. Take a look at what happened. What do you think about going to an hour a week?
What? No.
No! No, I give enough of my life for this stupid show. Half an hour is enough. That's too much. I don't see my family anymore. I don't know who this baby is. No!
So thank you, Shayna and Eric. We'll probably stay half an hour for now, but there is buzz that will be expanding to more days a week.
What? No!
Yes.
No!
So.
I can't do any more of this! I hate this!
We'll be right back.
I want to go home!
Welcome to Rush to Judgment, the show that helps you form an opinion as quickly as possible so you can post it on Facebook. Let's check out the Rush to Judgment Twitter feed, see how fans think the show's going so far. Brendan seems to think we're off to a rocky start, but looks like Lori thinks we're doing something right. Great. Back to the show. Ken Brown, are you ready to rush to judgment?
We're wasting time.
All right, Karen Duff, are you ready to rush to judgment?
Let's rock and roll.
Okay, then, let's begin. Trayvon Martin, a black 17-year-old in a gated community in Florida. Ken.
He's probably looking around for a house to rob.
Looks like he was shot to death by a neighborhood watch captain. Karen, opinion.
Racism in America, Brian. Pure and simple, people still judge others by the color of their skin.
Shooter's last name, Zimmerman.
German, so a neo-Nazi.
Looks like he was Hispanic. The victim was carrying Skittles.
Oh, okay. He's probably one of those obese kids. It's a tragedy.
Photo shows he looks a little skinny. Here's something of note. He was suspended from school 3 times.
Oh.
Karen, you're thinking too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. The suspensions are irrelevant.
All right, then. Let's take a call. Chris, you're on Rush to Judgment.
I watched the season premiere of Mad Men. Yeah, the whole season is going to stink.
Okay, then. Thank you, Chris. The shooter claims self-defense after he was attacked by the victim.
Because he's lying?
He must have felt like he was in danger.
All right, then. Rush to Judgment.
Murder.
Tragedy, but self-defense.
Okay, then. We're going to need to stop before all the facts come in, thanks to my experts Karen Duff and Ken Brown. That's all the time we have for now. Next week, highlights from the Duke University lacrosse case.
Oh,
yeah.
I had such strong feelings about that.
We had that sewn up in like a day.
That was a lot of fun.
How'd it turn out in real life?
Not so good. Okay, so you think this will make me seem more manly and outdoorsy, so I connect with the GBTV guys, right?
Absolutely. Thanks to our friends at Everraila Outdoors. They've generously shipped us a bunch of stuff. It's going to make you look like a pro hunter and a pro fisherman. Right. It's going to be great. I know that's not your thing. So we have everything in the prompter written out. So all you need to do is read it, and it doesn't matter that we're doing this live, okay?
I can do this.
You can do this. You're going to be great.
I can do this.
Live. Man up. Man up.
Man it up. Okay. Man it up, right? Yeah. Man up.
Okay, and we are live in 3, 2...
Now, you know, folks, I'm a huge hunting and fishing nut, which is why I only trust Everraila with my outdoor needs. Now, I'm going to show you these products that I use all the time when I'm out in the woods. This prompter's out.
What?
Prompter's out.
Oh, crap. You gotta say something. You gotta say something.
This is a bear detector. You wear this when you're out in the woods bear hunting. And it's got I forgot, it's got the night lights. Let's say you're in your tent and you want to read some poetry and it's dark out because you smushed out your campfire with your slippers. That's what you do. You read a poem. Oh, look at this. Well, when you're out in the woods and you need that extra oomph, try hunting pills. What? BBs. Okay. BBs, just be careful. Keep them away from small animals and things. You don't want to hurt anybody with these. Oh, makeup. Oh, goody. I hope it moisturizes my face because I've got the same exact pH balance as a woman.
I'm sorry.
What?
Do it.
Oh, a shoehorn. Ouchies.
Everraila Outdoor. Visit them on the web at everraila.com.
In an attempt to make sure test takers are who they actually claim to be, security around the SAT and ACT college admissions exams will increase this fall. Officials said this was the best choice after eliminating 3 other choices that didn't seem right. Research from the North American Bird Count suggests that birds are slowly adjusting to rising average temperatures affected by climate change. Here's proof. A Bronx, New York-based organization called Picture the Homeless is offering classes to homeless people on the best ways to effectively squat abandoned city-owned buildings. Because if there's one thing we know about the homeless, it's that they definitely like going to classes. Kim Kardashian was flower bombed on the streets of New York City last week. In fact, Kim was so white, she promptly broke up with herself. We'll be right back with author Charles Goyette. The camouflage face paint available at Everala Outdoors, it's the best camo on the market. And if you don't believe me, you're wrong. Did you know that Ben was in every single sketch that aired in tonight's show? Yep. Take a look back, see if you can find him.
I'm a mommy with skin so fair. I have 2 kids and we have blonde hair. I'm just a normal suburban mom. I have no weapons or a hidden bomb.
Still can't see him? Take a closer look.
I'm a mommy with skin so fair. I have 2 kids and we have blonde hair. I'm just a normal suburban mom. I have no weapons or a hidden bomb.
Take a look at this sketch. Can you find Ben? All right, we're going to need to stop before all the facts come in. Thanks to my experts, Karen Duff and Ken Brown. That's all the time we have for now. Join us next week. Here, I'll help you find him this time with a spot shadow. All right, we're going to need to stop before all the facts come in. Thanks to my experts, Karen Duff and Ken Brown. That's all the time we have for now. Join us next week. You know, the camo face paint from Everala is so good, Ben even appeared in the monologue. Mitt Romney weighed in on the debate over the Affordable Care Act this week, saying, quote, "If I'm the godfather of this thing, then it gives me the right to kill it." Romney's quote was well received by conservatives, but kind of freaked out his godchildren. Great job, Everala. Look, oh, look, he's right here. You see him? Oh, come on, really?
Everala Outdoors. Sporting supplies rugged enough for the savannah or the sound stage. Now, the Glenn Beck Show highlight of the week. The Glenn Beck Show highlight of the week has been brought to you by Everala Outdoors, your trusted source for all things outdoor.
My guest at the interview bar is a former talk show host in Phoenix, Arizona, writes about economic issues for sites like TheStreet.com and CNBC.com, and he's the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Dollar Meltdown. His new book is Red and Blue and Broke All Over, Restoring America's Free Economy, which I describe as taking a long, hard look at America's credit card bill. He's ordered Sprite. Please welcome Charles Goyette. Cheers, Charles.
Cheers. Good to see you, Brian.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
All right, so Red and Blue and Broke All Over, Restoring America's Free Economy. I thought we had a free economy, so what
Yeah, that'd be nice. You know, the rest of the world has kind of kicked the heel of the boot of the state off, and they're becoming more prosperous. They kicked the state off in China and other places, more or less. They're kind of squirming out from under the boot of the heel. And here in the United States, we're going the other way, and I think that the lessons are really evident if you look over the sweep of history and across national borders. Freedom creates prosperity. And so you got China now, since 78 or 79, 8, 9, 10% economic growth a year. The people are prospering. And here in the United States, things are going the other way. And here's what's insulting about this. You know, the guys that keep track of these things, when recessions start and when they end and stuff, they said that the recession ended in June of 2009. Mm-hmm. So you have 46 million Americans on food stamps. You know, you have 6 million homes that are delinquent or in foreclosure. You have depression era levels of unemployment, and they say that the recession ended 3 years ago. How can this be?
What you say in the book is that a lot of this has to do with crony capitalism, which is a very big theme these days. Because I think it's something that, and you've mentioned this, it's not a partisan issue. This is a left and right, conservative,
you're so
liberal,
right.
And you said, meet the blue boss, same as the red boss. Yeah. So you kind of paraphrased a Who lyric.
Isn't it the truth? That's the title of the book. It's Red and Blue and Broke All Over. The country is insolvent. The country's broke. I mean, think about this. We formerly, some of the richest people in the world, have to borrow from some of the poorest people in the world to keep our game going. But it's not only the country's insolvent, but it's the red party and the blue party. And, you know, they divide us up on these teams, and, you know, we're supposed to fight one another. But the truth is, in my view, that it's sort of the same economic priesthood that runs the real things that make the country prosperous. So you have the same policies in place regardless of which team's in office, the red team or the blue team. You know, I call it the American piñata. You know, we take the parties fight to see who gets the big stick, you know, and pass it around to their supporters. They all take a whack at the American piñata and spill some goodies out, and they scramble on the ground to get the goodies, and you know, and they pass the baton around. Everybody gets a crack at it. But the poor piñata doesn't survive the party.
Sure,
it gets trashed.
Gets thrown in the trash
process, and that's kind of what we're like.
So why wouldn't we just print a ton of money? And just pay everything we need to pay, and we're done.
You're in luck.
Right?
You're in luck. We're doing it right now.
Fantastic.
Oh, my God. You cannot believe the amount of money that they're printing right now. They're printing money like crazy.
They'll be able to pay for everything very soon. We're all set.
To create the illusion of prosperity again, blow up another bubble, just like they blew up the dot-com bubble, like they blew up the housing bubble. You know, they print money, and, you know, unfortunately, it kind of destroys the fabric of society. You know, you find that money isn't worth anything because they print so much of it.
Okay.
So people cease to save. Well, how do you have prosperity if people don't save? I mean, you look at China, they have a real demographic problem there because of their one-child policy. So they've got an aging population, these old people. They are some of the best savers in the world because they know that, you know, they're going to have to take care of themselves when push comes to shove and when they hit, you know, retirement
The government's
years.
not really there for them.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And so they save like crazy, but the peculiar result of that is because of all of their savings, they're creating prosperity. So here we're just trying to, you know, we're trying to print our way out of the problem, and you know, you can see that evident already in things like gas prices, the news I saw the other day about grocery prices. Again.
Right.
Yeah.
I was at a birthday party on Sunday and watching a bunch of kids bowl, a lot of 5-year-olds, and I was standing next to a guy who we were chatting, and he worked in finance, and I made some jokes about that's going to be a tough business, and then he got really quiet, and then he said, "We sold these kids out."
Oh my God.
And that just made my heart sink, number one, because he knows what he's talking about. And so I canceled the party, told everybody to go home, take the presents with them.
Go home and contemplate what we've done to you. No, but what kind of country does that? We have loaded these kids, the children on the playgrounds of America today and kids that aren't yet even born, we have loaded them with a lifetime of indebtedness for our present consumption now. You know, it's absolutely astonishing what kind of people do that so that they will never have the standard of living that we've enjoyed. You know, they'll be struggling. It's like, you know, kids out of college, you know, struggling under student loans. You know, these kids come into the playgrounds at the age of 5 and they're struggling under, you know, tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt. They can't do anything.
And we can't put them to work at that age yet.
No, it's, you know, how are you going to get them to pay their way? To me, it's not the battle between the, you know, the left and the right, or the conservatives and the liberals, Republicans and Democrats, the red and the blue. It's the battle between freedom and statism, and we really need to look at it that way. Are you going to make decisions about your own life? You know, does your grandmother get to decide what she can take to ease her pain? Are you going to make? Are you going to own your life? Or are you going to be told? But the most common word that comes out of Washington these days is mandate. I mean, it's like a mantra with the Obama administration. Mandate this, mandate, you know, contraception, mandate health care. But I'm afraid that the Republicans aren't a lot better, and I like to be bipartisan in my scorn for these parties because, you know, Newt Gingrich, Brian, had a good line the other day in one of the debates. He said, Obama is the food stamp president.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's good. But it turns out, you look at the numbers, and more Americans went on food stamps during Bush's years than during Obama's. So it's the food stamp government. You know, it's keep the people, you know, bread and circuses and keep them provided for, and, you know, buy your way into office and to re-election by offering to give people something for, you know, for their support.
So what do you prescribe for fixing this?
Freedom for everybody. Freedom's the answer. What's the problem? I think just to kind of cut to the chase, we can be prosperous again if we look at the lessons of history, and even across national borders. You have the Korean Peninsula. You look at the satellite images of that at night. It's all dark, and there's just a line. Whose line is it? It's just an invisible line. It's all dark, and then it's illuminated because they're relatively more free down there.
The 38th parallel.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Their standard of living is 15 times higher. It's all a question of freedom. So if people are interested in assessing what we can do to restore our liberty, we can get worked up and have a big campaign, have a bipartisan commission, yada, yada. You know, you do all those things, and then, you know, at the end of the day, you win or you lose, but nothing changes.
Right.
Or you can just start to appreciate liberty. And once the American people get aflame with an idea that liberty is good and that it creates prosperity, when politicians come around talking about mandates, you know, it's just kind of insignificant. Nobody cares, nobody listens, and they have to find another approach.
They should look at a mandate as a credit card they can't afford at the moment.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
Brian, it's great to see you.
You too.
Thank you for having me.
So that's the BSofA for this week. I'm your host, me. Thanks to Charles Goyette for coming by. His book, Red and Blue and Broke All Over, is out now. We'll link to it on our Facebook page because that's how we roll. New show next week. Until then, please get out of the left-hand lane unless you're passing. I'm Brian Sack. Good night.